Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to session 3, our afternoon session, the Sustainability Mobility Futures. There'll be the usual short introduction from your chair, in this case me, and then our speakers, and we'll do the voting bit after each speaker, and then a question and answer session right at the end, and then coffee. Let me briefly begin, and you'll have to forgive me here if I start with a small heresy. I think it's broadly true that most people don't give a stuff about carbon. Sad, but true. And why should they? In the worst recession since the Second World War, some of them are having to choose between driving and eating, never mind worrying what their tailpipe emissions are. And this, I believe, is a really important factor to consider when we're talking about the long-term goal of the decarbonisation of road transport. We have, emphatically have, to have public engagement. And to have public engagement, we cannot hector, harangue, lecture, or threaten. People have to have fiscal and personal benefits to make the change. Now, out there in Montgomery Square is a small but significant collection of low-carbon cars. And this is something I've put together, Drive the Future, and created and organised and financed significantly myself, because it's really, really important. I believe that if we are to do what we intend to do, we have to have public engagement, and we have to get them to understand how it benefits them. And to do that, they have to drive these cars. They have to understand about fuel saving, tyres, technology, hydrogen, the whole suite of potential low-carbon solutions. And we have to get them to like it, to engage. We have to get them to own it as well. And sometimes only touching and feeling will do that. It's very difficult for somebody to come and drive a car like the Vauxhall Ampera, a world-changing, once-in-100 years car. And to do that in a dealership with all the hard pressure cell, that's enormously difficult. But bring them here, say there is no cell, say this is a life-changing moment for you, and they will come. And they have. A man came from Lincolnshire. He heard it on the Steve Wright show, he heard me being zealous about it, and he drove all the way. That's what we need. And these small changes, these small steps, will begin to change the behaviour. And that's so, so, so important. And it's the tone of voice we need to monitor as well. We can't really talk about decarbonisation and sustainability because we'll lose them in a heartbeat. We have to tell them that that Ampera out there potentially and theoretically will do 175 miles to every gallon. We have to tell them that running a Nissan Leaf means that you'll do 100 miles for £1.25. Then, ladies and gentlemen, you have their undivided attention. And the consequence of that undivided attention and that buy-in at that financial benefit level is low carbon, is decarbonisation. And that, I believe, is the way it has to happen. Sadly, they really don't care about global warming. And this is a terrible thing to say in a place like this, but I really do believe for the vast majority of the population, this is the case. So talk softly, talk carefully, but engage them and tell them how it'll make a difference to their lives, personally. The greater good and altruism, and it's very easy for us to sit here, believing as we do, and having our zeal and our evangelism, and to expect everybody else to be like that, that sadly is not the case, and I'm not sure it's going to be the case. The rising price of fuel is for this moment in time, I believe the single most important factor to getting the behavioural change we need. And don't forget, stage right, we have all that white noise coming from the mainstream media who don't believe that these cars are the future, that this technology, that hydrogen, that driving economically will ever be of any point to us. They don't believe the golden age of the motor car has passed. And they are lobbying as hard and as fast as they can to negate our efforts. So you have that on that side, and then complete apathy on the left side, and these two things could conspire to keep what is out there and what you are representing today as just remarkable experiments. And that would be an economical and social tragedy. So it's going to be a long, long walk to Calvary, this one. And it's about changing preconceptions and offering them the benefits that will make them change their behavior.